This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Families of inmates at the Waupun State Prison are keeping up the pressure for reforms. Family, friends, and former inmates held a protest Sunday. Meanwhile, supporters of former employees who face felony charges say 4 recent deaths at Waupun were not their fault. They're calling for more accountability from the Corrections Department. Governor Evers is calling for an independent audit of Milwaukee public schools. Milwaukee has been dealing with budget cuts and accounting problems that led the superintendent to resign. The state is still waiting for a financial report from Milwaukee that was due last fall. Observers say 4 state Senate seats are competitive this year as Democrats try to take the majority in as soon as 2 years.
If you don't win all 4, you're okay. You can get there. If you win just 2, it's really tough. That makes it challenging. So for Democrats, they want 3. 3 gives them a pretty good chance for 2026.
J.R. Ross of WisPolitics speaking with Wisconsin Eye. Ann Jacobs is the new chair of the Wisconsin Elections Commission. She won a 2-year term by unanimous vote yesterday. The panel oversees Wisconsin's election process, which is run by clerks at the local level. Wisconsin small business owners say they're worried about proposed cuts to the Affordable Care Act. Krissa Ostenzo owns an optometry clinic with her husband in Ladysmith. She says the premium cap from recent adjustments put health insurance within people's reach.
We always just had to encourage our employees to get health insurance and try to pay them enough to do it. And it really wasn't until the 8% that we succeeded in that. And they started all having health insurance.
The temporary ACA premium caps are due to expire at the end of next year. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. Nurses at Essentia Health's 3rd Street Clinic and Patient Flow Hospital in Duluth have announced plans to vote on joining the Minnesota Nurses Association. Nurses at the 3rd Street Clinic are the latest in a string of Essentia locations that have voted to unionize, saying they want a seat at the table to improve working conditions, get fair wages and benefits, and help decide how care is provided to their patients. Essentia officials say they support the nurses' right to unionize, but believe they should work directly with hospital leadership. Northwestern High School in Maple is long overdue for an update on their turf field, and a Cenovus Energy donation will help them get there. According to a Northern News Now report, the field hasn't been updated in over 15 years, making it the oldest turf football field in the entire state. Thanks to their fundraising efforts and the $50,000 donation from Cenovus Energy, school officials say they're now just a couple of weeks away from having the newest field in the state. The new field will also allow the school to host playoff games. Bayfield residents gathered for the 3rd annual Stand with the Band street party on Saturday. According to a Northern News Now report, the goal of the yearly event is to raise awareness about the increasing efforts to ban books across the country. It was started when Julie Buckles, the owner of Honest Dog Books, received a donation to buy a banned book and donate it. This year, over 500 people attended the party, and Buckles says her store donated about 100 books that had been challenged or banned. The Duluth City Council has approved a $600,000 settlement regarding an officer-involved shooting in 2020. According to a Northern News Now report, officers responded to reports of a domestic situation when Officer Tyler Liebfried fired several shots through the door, claiming self-defense after hearing 2 loud bangs. One of the shots hit Jared File in the shoulder, leading him to sue the city for misconduct. Officers were unable to confirm that there actually was a domestic situation. 2 people were killed in a motorcycle crash in Douglas County on Sunday. According to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, a 23-year-old man and a 23-year-old woman were killed when their motorcycle collided with a car at County Highway E and Orchard Drive just outside Superior. Both were pronounced deceased at the scene and both were wearing helmets. Law enforcement authorities have not released the names of the 2 victims who were killed in the crash, nor what factors may have caused the crash to occur. The Duluth Public Library is hosting its annual book sale this week. According to a WDIO report, the book sale will be open to the public on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday for bag sale day in select rooms from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Funding raised through the book sale will go towards supporting other library events throughout the year, like seasonal reading programs, STEM programming, and a free outdoor summer entertainment program for kids. The Duluth Entertainment Convention Center transformed into a dental office over the weekend. Dentists from the Minnesota Dental Association and Minnesota Dental Foundation provided area residents with free dental care for those in need, offering services like fillings and cleanings to anybody who attended the event. Organizers say it can be difficult for people to acquire dental care, and even some who have dental coverage in their health insurance have struggled to find rural dentists who are accepting new patients. Workers at a Cloquet paper mill have voted to authorize a potential strike. According to a Northern News Now report, 150 workers at Cloquet's Sappy paper mill are represented by the National Conference of Firemen and Oilers Union, and those workers recently shot down a 3-year contract offer from the company. The union workforce comprises about a fifth of the total 700 employees at the paper mill, and union officials have not said if negotiations will continue or when the strike could begin. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The Brewers with a win over the Blue Jays. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers with a 3-1 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. The crew had not hit a home run in the past week until Jackson Churio did it in the third, followed by Willie Adames in the fourth inning on Bally Sports, Wisconsin.
Adames deep left center, and the Brewers are going to have the lead. Number 10 for Willie.
That was a bomb. Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
Willie's such a competitor. I've seen him hit that same home run 20 times since I've been here. Slider kind of down in the zone, right in that same spot.
Right-hand pitcher Colin Ray held Toronto to just 3 hits over 7 innings in his longest outing in 8 years. I asked him what made the difference.
We were kind of executing that backdoor sinker, and that played really well off of other stuff that we were attacking them with. And then, they were pretty aggressive, so we were getting ahead. And, we played great defense and got some key hits when we needed to.
Game 2 of the 3-game series tonight in Milwaukee. NBA. Darvin Ham coming back to the Milwaukee Bucks as an assistant after a 2-year stint as the head coach of the Lakers. UConn's Dan Hurley declining an offer from the Lakers to become their next head coach. NFL. 40-year-old tight end Mercedes Lewis re-signed for another year with the Chicago Bears. This will be his 19th season. Packers minicamp underway. Quarterback Jordan Love asked, who does he consider his number 1 receiver?
We have a lot of depth at that receiver position. I think it's a good problem to have. You don't have to have a number 1 receiver. I think it works out well when you can spread the ball out. I think in the long run it helps us in not having a number 1 guy, a true number 1 guy, but I think all those guys can step up and be the one, any given day.
That's the Packers' Jordan Love. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Comedian and actor George Lopez is at odds with the California casino after his show ended 30 minutes early. According to Deadline, the comedian got into it with hecklers from the stage. Lopez and his security team claim the club did nothing to calm the unruly crowd, making Lopez feel unsafe. The Eagle Mountain Casino in Porterville, California sees it differently, posting on Facebook that Lopez yelled at the audience and his security team did nothing to ease the tension or remove anyone. Either way, you don't hear of a comedian heckling the audience and removing himself very often. There is a new Lord of the Rings film in the works. Producer Peter Jackson is at work on Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. If you're wondering if Sir Ian McKellen would return to play Gandalf, he is willing, but he has one condition, saying he will do it only if he's alive. Such a diva. McKellen told the Times of London there is no script, no plan, and no offer, but seemed open to doing it. Here's one of Pete's picks. Richard Linklater's latest film, Hitman, starring and co-written by lead actor Glenn Powell, is really good. Powell plays a college professor but works for the police by night, pretending to be a hitman to entrap those looking to have people killed. The story is filled with fun turns, suspense, sweet romance, and is based on a true story. Hitman can be streamed on Netflix and received excellent reviews. What do you do to help restore your image after you accost the host of the Oscars? You show that you are a man of the people by watching your new film Bad Boys Ride or Die with the commoners. That is what Will Smith did, actually sitting right in the middle of a crowded theater. The actor revealed himself after the end credits. Oh yeah. And you also make sure fan reaction is captured on TikTok by the theater manager, and that there's another camera outside to capture the glory. When Smith went in for handshakes or hugs, most flinched, but no one was slapped. He is back. When given the chance to ride or die this past weekend, the box office chose to ride, thanks to the latest installment of Bad Boys Ride or Die. The Will Smith comeback vehicle and 4th film in the Bad Boys franchise raked in $56 million at the domestic box office and topped $105 million globally. A nice boost for theater owners who are hoping for more good fortune next weekend with the release of Inside Out 2. The animated sequel is expected to pull in $110 million globally. Kid and family-friendly films have kept the box office at least somewhat respectable this summer, horror with the strength of Garfield and John Krasinski's If. Rounding out the top 5 from this past weekend were Garfield in second place, If was number 3, horror film and directorial debut for Ishana Shyamalan's The Watchers opened in 4th place, and it was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at number 5. Bad Boys' 97% approval rating with audiences should give the film and box office legs for weeks to come. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. For today, showers and thunderstorms with a high near 75. For tonight, mostly clear, lows around 55. Showers and thunderstorms possible for your Wednesday, otherwise mostly sunny, and highs near 86. For Wednesday night, more showers and thunderstorms.
Currently 56 degrees.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.